No matter what, I knew something was severely wrong. For the past months, I've been documenting my journey of really struggling with like feeling like I'm gonna pass out, like feeling like I'm losing a little bit of air, like there was not enough air coming to my brain. And we're just coming out of the YMCA because the boys went out for swimming. So now is the time for me to tell you about what is the next good news that I wanted to share with you guys. Guys, my anxiety is pretty much gone. I'll say 90% to 95%. Here is why, my so-called anxiety. I told you from the beginning, every month I'm doing this update to show you guys that I did not believe the diagnosis of anxiety. I knew that I was not anxious. I feel like the doctors really failed me on this case because some of you were saying, no, just accept what the doctor said. But I know my body. I knew that something was wrong. If you are new here, for the past months, I've been documenting my journey of really struggling with like feeling like I'm gonna pass out, like feeling like I'm losing a little bit of air, like there was not enough air coming to my brain. The second signs were like I was feeling like tingling in my tongue, like tingling to a point where I was thinking that I was having stroke. And then another sign was very bad heart palpitations at night. Another one was very, very bad delayed sleep. Like I'll go to sleep at 10. I'll be able to, I'll keep on checking the time. 11, I'm not sleeping. 12, I'm not sleeping. Maybe I'll sleep around 1 o'clock. Like that's how bad it was. At the time, I was convinced that I was having a very bad heart attack or tumor because something was definitely wrong. So I'll go to the hospital. Firstly, I thought that, don't go yet, honey. I'm telling them my story. Firstly, I thought that I was having iron deficiency because I was breastfeeding. And I went to the doctor. I said, guys, I really think something is extremely wrong. They checked my heart. They said, your heart is beating fine. They checked my vitals. They took my blood. And I said, because what I diagnosed myself with anemia initially because I was breastfeeding. So I was thinking that baby was taking too much from me. So I was like, okay, it's anemia. So they take me, they take my blood work, they test me for everything like that. They put diabetes because also I was thinking that maybe I have diabetes. Everything like that. The test came back. I was not diabetic. I was not pre-diabetic. And then they diagnosed me with anxiety. But I know my body. I knew it was not anxiety. So I took the matter into my hands. I was like, okay, I actually think that I'm hypoglycemic. I was like, okay. I went back to the hospital. I said, okay, how about you guys check me for hypoglycemia? They say, no, we don't think it's hypoglycemia. We just believe that you are anxious, it's anxiety. And I just did not agree with that diagnosis. No matter what, I knew something was severely wrong because now the symptoms have gone up. Now I'm starting to experience shock. Like, I think they call it, nerve damage, neuropathy. I think it's called neuropathy. Yeah, I think it's called neuropathy. Now, at night, sometimes I'm experiencing that. Now the signs are getting worse with neuropathy. I'm having, like, I'll be jumping like this. I'll feel like a shock in my body, like an electrical shock. And then I was like, okay, this is my central nervous system really, really having a problem. And I think I have a nerve damage because they are telling me it's anxiety. For me personally, I know 100% it's not anxiety. So I'm getting into this thing of not believing the doctors because I know my body and all that. So I stumbled upon a doctor here on YouTube. He's an MD doctor. And he's explaining the signs of pre-diabetes and diabetes. And these signs, as much as the blood came negative for me, they are 100% for me. And then the advice that he gave was to keep on I bought, you know what I bought? I bought the blood sugar test. I think it's called gluco, whatever. I'll put the name here. So there's my husband. He's getting everything ready. So you're what are you doing, handsome man?
I'm preparing the lancet, which is the needle that pokes you.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys what I do every day. I genuinely believe multiple times a day. Yeah, let me show it to you. See, I've been poking only one finger. I heal very fast, so I don't really have. I don't have to. I'm scared to use all of my fingers I only use one finger. Look at it now, how my hand looks so healthy now. Can even see the veins. Look, I'm ashy now. I didn't put on lotion, but it's 2 hours after eating now. Let's see how it is. 94. I bought the thing. No, I already had it. I started using it every time. And I looked at the normal blood sugar. My blood sugar was way high. Even though the blood test became normal, my blood sugar was above normal. Me and my husband, we looked at each other. Okay, honey, how about you and I became best friends? I'm scared to poke myself. He does this all the time for me. My husband decided to, okay, how about we start poking you? I went on the rabbit hole of what causes this thing. And then I started going low carb. And firstly, I want to say, I'm so sorry to all the keto people that I've been speaking crap about their diet. Okay, firstly, I want to say, I'm so sorry to the keto people because I told you guys how much I hate keto, how much I'll never go for keto, how much I'll never do that. I'll smack about keto. I'm not doing keto though, but my diet is very close. So the first day we started to, okay, no sugar. When I say no sugar, I mean no refined sugars. I cut off sugar and I cut off simple carbohydrates. I even for now cut off the grains. The first day, my blood sugar was still very elevated. It took like 3 days. It took like 3 days or so for my blood sugar to get better, right? Yeah, 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 days for my blood to start getting better. Guys, as my blood sugar started getting better, I noticed a full day with no symptoms, with no neuropathy, with no electrical shock, with no so-called anxiety. And my husband was like, wait a damn minute, what in the world is this? So I went intermittent fasting because I was going crazy. Someday I cried so bad because it was depressing me so bad, knowing that very well that I'm not depressed, I'm not anxious. I knew something was wrong. And then I cut all sugars. I cut all the sugars and all that stuff. So I want my husband to explain exactly what really happened. You've been with me. You knew exactly what was going on with me. Can you please explain to them in a very, I don't know how to say.
The diagnosis?
Yeah, no, everything that was going on with me and how I changed. It became normal.
Yeah, as soon as you cut your sugars out and you stop eating bread and grains and even fruit, you've been 100% better.
Yeah.
And then after like 2 or 3 days of just of doing great, you thought, I made dipapata.
Yeah.
You couldn't resist, so you had one, and then you had a mandarin, and that just blew you right back in.
Yes. Yeah. I had a homemade bread for my husband, and my blood sugar started going very bad. I started feeling that tingling tongue.
And you put on weight.
And I put on weight just from that. And now I've decided, I want to tell you that if you know 100% sure that you're not anxious, and you know, for me, I told you from the beginning, if you watch my videos of every month, I'm telling you guys what's going on. You guys know, at one point, I started to say, maybe I have a spinal cord injury from my epidural. I started like going on the rabbit hole. But I want to tell you that this doctor, he's an MD doctor. He said exactly what I felt. It was crazy. It was so uncanny. It was like 100% my symptoms. For me, I haven't had anyone talking about the tingling tongue. My tongue was like this. Inside. I've never had a tingling tongue before. That's why I was thinking that I was having a stroke. And I think I had a damage. Even now, I still feel like my nerve damage is still done. But at least now I don't have symptoms. I'm praying that with the diet that I have done, that I will not have any more. I will not damage my body more. So I want to say that I'm so sorry to the keto people. Keto is not as bad. I'm not doing keto. I mean, you'll see my breakfast. For breakfast, I have milk. I don't think milk is keto. I still have milk, I still have kefir. I still have other things, but I've cut off sugar, simple sugar. Bread is the enemy. Like now I poke myself after every meal. I poke myself after 2 hours, and my blood is kind of normal, and my symptoms are 90% better. I'm hoping that in the next month, if God gives me more days, I'll say I'm 99 or 100% better. Cutting off sugary food, cutting up everything that changes that glucose like that has healed me. So what do I think my diagnosis was? Because if you look at my neck, you'll see that I have dark neck. I have line. I mean, that's a sign of insulin resistance. And I've always known that I'm somewhat insulin resistant. And not only that, if you see, I'm developing a lot of skin tags. So I've always known that I'm insulin resistant. What I did not know was the impact of insulin resistance in my body. Had I known more about insulin resistance, I would have changed my diet back then. I've been insulin resistant for many years now, and I was hoping that my body is not destroyed much, and it looks like my insulin resistance really caused a lot of damage within me. What I'm praying to God for is that I was doing it. I mean, it's all my fault. I'm not gonna act like I did not know, but I knew that I'm insulin resistant. I just need not give. Okay, Michael, what do I want? So my problem is gone. I'm no longer anxious. I told you guys. I said my husband does a lot for me. He helps me cook. He helps me a lot in the house. We don't have anything that can cause me anxiety. I'm not necessarily scared of death, because that's what I was thinking about. I was like, I'm not scared of death. I'm not always thinking about death, because if you know, I know 100% sure that I'm saved, and I've shared a video how to know 100% sure you're going to heaven. Like, as far as being scared of death, I'm not scared of death. So why would I be anxious? And I knew that. So I think my body is damaged big time, and I'm hoping that the damage is not too bad, and now I'm fine just from cutting everything. So I'm not a doctor, but if you know for sure that you are, like, for me, I'm no longer gonna speak smack about keto. Of course I'm not doing keto, but my diet is very close to keto, in the sense that I don't eat bread, at least for now. It's still the first month. I'm just gonna see if I can bring them back. I have a feeling that I cannot yet, because I tried and then the science came back. And you know what is funny? You just cheat with one piece of bread, and my body started falling again, like in just one day. And now we've decided to just do this for a couple of weeks and then see how it goes, and then I'll bring back the grains eventually, because I noticed that last month I was telling you guys that I'm eating grains and it was helping. What I did not know was that it was spiking my blood sugar so high that it got to the point whereby I started experiencing the signs of nerve pain. And I want to say, advocate for yourself. If the doctors still say there's nothing wrong with you, but you know yourself, I'll really advise starting with diet. I'm not a doctor, but based on my experience, if I had a sister, I'll say start with the diet. Is the chronic glucose level that was killing me. So the good news is that my so-called anxiety is gone. Fully gone. I mean, 90% to 95%. Right now I'm on my ovulation phase, and I'm not sad. I'm not debilitated. What I'm saying is that if we can just change the diet, I'm feeling phenomenal. Like, I'm feeling the best I've ever felt. There's no more that foggy brain of doomsday. Like, I literally thought I was gonna die from something like a brain. I thought I was gonna go from brain damage or something. I am so disappointed, because doctors really took me back and told me, well, go back, it's anxiety. So my anxiety turned out to be high dose of my glucose in my blood. The moment I took out the high glucose, and what I did, so the way I prick myself, okay, my husband is gonna be pricking me soon. I wanna show you. So it's been 2 hours since I ate my meal, and now my husband is gonna test me. Guys, I know this looks stupid. I mean, my body heals so fast that you won't see it. But this is I only use one finger. I'm scared to use the other fingers. I told myself that even when I had thing, it's gonna be one finger. So now my husband is gonna be checking my blood. I'm gonna show you exactly what he does. They have it. Go to the bedroom. Okay, my baby's reading a book. Now, one of our twins now is reading at 3rd grade level. I mean, now he's been like getting everything on 2nd grade fast. Now I'm moving him to reading the 3rd grade books. And that's the fun thing about homeschooling, that you can do whatever you like as far as reading. Now I'm bumping him up to the 3rd grade book, 1 book a day, and then he's gonna read his 2nd grade books at his own time, whatever he wants to do. Now one twin, he's reading 2 books a day. The other one, I still need to work with him on the 2nd grade stuff first, and then we'll see how it works. They're gonna start 3rd grade in September, but you know what? The fun thing about homeschooling, it can teach a child ahead. As you see, it's now 94. Prior to changing my diet, it used to be way in the 100, like way over 120. And when I ate that bread, it went to 130, right? 131 or something like that. And I was so mad just by eating one bread. And I noticed that when it's higher, my symptoms of anxiety, which I don't think it was anxiety, I think it is I think I waited so long, as sad to say this, that my nerves are somewhat damaged. Some of my nerves are damaged, that when I overdose on glucose, it actually elevates my blood so high that it makes my body go into this flight or fight thing, because at that point my body is fighting for its life. I did not know that. And after I changed my diet now, as you guys see, everything is perfectly normal. That is because I'm not eating bread. That is because I'm not eating refined sugar. And I took a little break from my grains. I may bring them back later. I mean, every month I'm coming up with these videos to share with you guys how I am doing. So I'll say that insulin resistance is a bad thing. And it's extremely bad that people take it for granted. And I went on the rabbit hole of also learning about fatty liver disease. I went all this rabbit hole, and they said that if we have a belly fat, that means we have fatty liver. I was like, oh, I mean the fatty liver, not fatty liver disease. But I was like, okay, it's time to get back to my normal. But now it's back. I'm back at myself now. And what did I say? I did not have anxiety. I knew from the beginning. So it's been such a very nice month of bliss and happiness. And thanks to this thing, I'm thinking of getting it for some of my family members back in Botswana, because we are going to Botswana, and just having them. You can get it from anywhere. I mean, you can get it. I'll link the one. I have this one. I have 2, because I ran out of these things. These things had finished. So we did not find them in the shop. So I had to buy the second one. So this thing, guys, I'll say that genuinely, I'm going to say that it saved my sanity. It saved my life. Because now my skin is, as you see, is still having lines. It's going to take a while to go even. I'm praying that I'm going to be fine. Hopefully the skin tags will stop growing. Hopefully I'll start getting myself back. And I want to say that it was all insulin resistance from the beginning. And what is sad is that all this is based on my self-diagnosis, because the doctors did not want to listen to me. I literally told them that I don't have anxiety, I don't have stress. And some of my followers were not helping, saying that when we have children, we're gonna have anxiety. I said, you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Someone said that I'm being in denial because I don't want to accept my anxiety diagnosis. Someone say I'm hypochondriac. Someone say, like, it was so bad that I did not want to share much. I even posted a video that was only seen by a few people, and I took it down because it was just making people not want to listen. Like, my followers were just as bad as my doctor, in the sense that, I mean, not like, I'm not saying that it was bad. Some of my followers were that bad in the sense that they were not listening to me knowing myself. Like, I'm telling you. And this is, unfortunately, that's what a lot of people go through. Misdiagnosis after misdiagnosis. Now, I'm fine. I'm back to normal. And thanks to this, now I see sugar at a completely different lens. And for the people that prayed for me, the believers in Christ Jesus that prayed for me, I want to say thank you so much. I'm back to normal thanks to this. My blood sugar was way high by doing it myself, but they still told me that it was anxiety. And yes, I know anxiety can raise your blood, but it was that bad. I was having nerve damage. My tongue was throbbing at night like this. My throat. And when you go back to tongue throbbing and anxiety, they say yes, it can cause the same thing. I wish I could have had a doctor that was just telling me to check my blood every day. But then again, many people are sick. The doctors are having a lot of patients that they just kick us out like that. I've lost trust. I'm not gonna lie, in the medical system after this, that is going to be a while before I even get to trust them with my diagnosis because that was really disappointing. A lot of you were telling me, get the second opinion. I was actually on the way to getting the second opinion after I discovered this doctor that online. May God bless this doctor online. My YouTube doctor. This one is a medical doctor. And he gives this information quite similar to Dr. Beck, but maybe a little different. I don't know. But him is a medical doctor. And he mentioned that the problem with insulin resistance and pre-diabetic is that the moment they catch that you have pre-diabetic, the damage is already or has already been done. And I just hope that my body, I have not damaged it to that degree. That's what I pray for. Anyways.
I want to say something.
Might want to say something.
And I watched that doctor a little bit, and the reason why he's so passionate about it, and I think the reason why he's gotten so much revelation is because he went through the same thing.
Yes.
And he was really puzzled because he followed the
American Diabetic Association.
Yeah, he followed the advice of the health establishment, and it made it worse.
Yeah, it made it worse. Yeah, he said that when he realized that he was pre-diabetic. Yeah, the man, he doesn't sell you anything.
He did his own research.
And he did from scratch. Yes. This doctor makes me want to cry because he's a good doctor. He said that he followed the diet that they write in the Diabetics Association. And then when he went back to test himself, to get tested, he had not only gained weight, but his blood sugar was out of this world. And then he decided to just go low carb. And then the revelation came and he became fine. Yes?